Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to season 3 with Top Tier Talk, where we cover game week 1 of the Premier League. And Daniel and our good friend James cover a little bit of Watford, since they are both season ticket holders. But firstly, we'll get into a bit of Arsenal with myself and a bit of Chelsea with Amir. So then we'll cover a little bit of that. And unfortunately, Chavez can't join us today, so we'll cover a little bit of his. But then moving on to the last bit of Watford, where Ismaila Sarr scored a blinder from a halfway line. So let's get into it. Amir, take us away with the Chelsea game, buddy.
Chelsea game first. Okay. 1-0 Chelsea. Typical 1-0 win. We hold on for the last 40 minutes as always, but we scrape a 1-0 win. I don't know. I think at this point in the season, with the transfer window still not ending, we're just trying to scrape wins until we get all the players we need.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you lot, Cucurella for 63 million. Is that a good signing? Yes or no? Each one of you.
As a player,
start with.
As a player, it's a good signing. For the value, not really. I don't see like 63 million being spent on a fullback unless it's like Trent or Cancelo, but that's just me.
Yeah. James, what do you think?
He was man of the match on the weekend.
He was. Yeah, it was good. Good pass. Sterling should have scored. I think 63 million is a bit over the top, but
yeah,
it's what it is. Like,
what does that mean for Chilwell
though?
He paid 50 mil for him, didn't he?
I think because he's a bit more versatile, Cucurella can play left centre back, left wing, left midfield. I think that's why. But if they're competing, that's going to be good. But I don't know what it means for Chilwell, really, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
But Chilwell did start, so we'll see what Tuchel does in the next game. Dan, what do you think? 63 million?
I think Cucurella itself is a good signing.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
but I'm not sure about the price tag. But it's not, again, same as we say with every transfer. It's not what the player's worth. It's not what his ability is. It's what he's worth to the club. And to Brighton, he's worth that. So that's why you have to pay that much.
Definitely.
But he could come in and set the world alight and prove his price tag. Or as we saw today with Werner leaving, he could do that and end up back at Brighton in a couple of years' time, being labelled as a flop.
Hopefully not. Same with Lukaku, Inter. With Werner leaving, obviously, today, what do you lot think? Do you think him going back to Leipzig was smart for him, or do you think he should try another league? Smart for him, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
For him, yeah. He knows what he's doing.
James, do you think so? Do you think he should try the new league, or do you think back to Bundesliga, get a couple good seasons back in him? What do you think?
He's weird. If you look at his stats before Chelsea, he was unreal. Like, he was next. Like,
unreal.
Like,
sick, yeah.
So it's so weird how much of a decline he had in the Prem. So yeah, I don't know if it's like a mentality thing, him being in the Prem and just not adapting, but I don't know, because like even watching him play, I've not seen him show anything that showed me he was wanting to start playing. So like, I think he'll do well, but I don't think he'll be that level he was.
It's tough with most players. It's tough with most players that come to the Prem though, in general, because I feel like when you buy a player, if you buy him and he's Premier League proven, obviously I'm bringing Arsenal into this, but Jesus, he's proven to play. He knows how to adapt well, so it's a smart signing. Whereas you buy the likes of, I don't know, like
Werner, Sancho.
Lukaku, Sancho.
Yeah, even Mkhitaryan. He didn't.
No, I'm not saying it's like always going to be bad, but I'm saying like most of the time these guys are used to kind of like slower play, having more time on the ball in different leagues. And then when they come to the Prem, they're shut down like too quick, and then they're not used to it, and then they have to adapt very quickly, or they get sucked out like Lukaku and Werner,
Yeah. That's true. But Lukaku was Prem proven before. I think it was just his Inter attitude and stuff. That one was just an anomaly. But I'm going to predict with Werner's career, he's going to go back to Leipzig. He's going to bang it for a couple seasons, and then get a move to Bayern Munich. That's what I think will happen to him. I think he'll bang it back in Leipzig. I think the league's his league, and he'll get a lot of chances. He'll score, and then that's that. But yeah, no, that's Chelsea 1-0 win, trying to scrape through. We still need a defender.
I was going to say very quickly, based on that, just one last thing for Chelsea. What did you think of Koulibaly?
Koulibaly was good. He was solid. But honestly, Thiago Silva was sick that game. That one, I think there was an attack or something, and then he wanted Mendy to come out. Mendy didn't come out. He defended it. He blocked the shot. But it's funny actually. He had a doping. He got put in for doping after the game, and he missed the flight. He spent 4 hours in a car coming back. But yeah, no, it's all right, Chelsea. We've got to win. Just need
Nice
to carry
win.
on now.
Yeah, good little
It's
start.
all right.
All
Arsenal
right.
now, first game
Arsenal,
of the
yeah,
season.
first game of the season. A great start from last season. I just started to watch the All or Nothing when we lost 2-0 to Brentford at the start of the last season, and it was fucking grace. But but yeah, but more on like this game, 2-0, and fantastic game. I think for us, it was a very big building block. I think that game, because obviously we've all done fucking stupid fly. We've all done really well in the pre-season like games and everything like that. Yeah, we beat Sevilla 6-0. Yeah, we beat all these like Chelsea. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's all well and good pre-season, blah, blah, blah. But can we do it in the main stage and the main arena? Can we do it? And in that game, I think yes, we can. Every other like kind of fan out there is kind of saying how dangerous we are, and everyone's looking quite scared of us. For the first 20 minutes of that game against Crystal Palace, I think we absolutely bossed them about. And that's the first time we've bossed about Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park in a very long time, and I loved it. The first 20 minutes, I think Martinelli was on it. Jesus was looking silky. Saliba, not even for the first 20 minutes, Saliba for the whole game was amazing. That number 12 was fantastic. Yeah, great.
But
they
did come back into the game second half. They looked like they were going to score. Though,
yeah, 100%. Like, but then that's typical Arsenal. You know, that happens to us. We usually like absolutely boss it for a good 20-30 minutes and then kind of let our heads fall, or we get lack of energy. I don't know what happens, but we still managed to control it well. You know, Saliba looked very composed on the ball. Gabriel played well. A nice little touch for Tierney. Zinchenko had a great game. Absolutely great game. And
it was a good sign. Yeah,
it's a great signing, and it's going to be tough for Tierney to break back into that left back position.
You know,
100%. I think Zinchenko had a great game. Like, you can't necessarily just say to Tierney after that Zinchenko game against Palace, you start. No, you know, you've got a 5 for your position. Like, he did come on with Tierney when he came on, but yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Jesus's run. I don't know what it was. Took it around and he nutmeg run, took it round, and it came to Martinelli, and that was Martinelli's miss. But that was so good, and it just proves
that was an awful miss, though.
Apparently,
an awful miss.
Say again, James.
That was compared to the season game. That was the worst he played.
Exactly.
Who, Jesus?
Yeah.
Really?
That was his worst game.
And he looked good as well, didn't he?
He looked good, exactly.
That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. And like,
he's needed for ages.
Yeah, I agree. That number 9, that he's filled that position. Lacazette wasn't doing it for the past couple of seasons. Aubameyang was more or less playing on the left for the entire time. And now we've got that solid player. And yeah, don't get me wrong, Dan Martinelli should have put that away. Everyone, he knows that. But then he came and redeemed himself from a Zinchenko juicy little header, and then he popped it in himself. Great. And then Saka got a little bit lucky with his own goal, but no, honestly, great.
The squad's looking good. Your squads are good, but I still think they're a tiny bit thin with Europa for you guys. That's just the only criticism I would say to get the Champions League. That's my only criticism. You might disagree.
I don't know. There was a bit of talk today about who's come back into training. You know, you got the likes of Fabio Vieira back into full training as well. Tomiyasu back into full training. They'll be apparently on the bench for the Leicester game or something like that. And you know, like the good thing is I like about Zinchenko as well is that, like, let's say for example, we've got Sambi Lokonga in midfield as a backup. We've got El Neni, but then we've got him as well. He can play centre mid. Do you know what I mean? He'll be a backup. He'll be a backup for either Xhaka and Partey. And obviously it'll be a big blow if Partey goes out the window because he's like our big midfielder. So which is why we're still linked.
Wasn't it, that game as well?
Fucking hell, it's granted though.
Did you see the banner as well about like it was like rapists shouldn't be playing or something? That was crazy.
Constant.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Arsenal, good start. Very quickly, want to talk about the biggest banter club in the Prem, Man United losing to Brighton. What I want to bring up is their links to Arnautovic and Rabiot, like in the last couple of days. It's panic
buy,
isn't it?
100%. It's so bad that they're linked.
Well,
like
it's another one of them, isn't it? Cavani signing.
Yeah,
Cavani, yeah, that's true. Igalo-esque.
It's another Igalo signing. It's a backup team. Like realistically, Arnautovic is not starting for that club
as well, and then you add Arnautovic into it.
It's bad. He's an egotistical guy as well. He would not fit into that team. We've got we've got Ronaldo already. So then Arnautovic into that.
Yeah, it's not, that dressing room is not what you want, especially with him.
Yeah, their dressing room's in like tatters right now. Really, like Ronaldo wanting to leave.
The club's in tatters. It's not just the dressing room.
The whole club is in tatters. Yeah, top to bottom as well. Like even the new manager coming, I think Ten Hag's got to have some blame in it. If it's him that just wants De Jong constantly the whole summer, even though De Jong doesn't want to go. Like,
No, you
like, as soon as-
can't continuously blame Man United managers for the entire thing. We started with
No, it's not-
Solskjaer, then we jump in and keep going on and on and on and on. We keep blaming the
No, I
managers,
know.
but
He said
Go on,
it was
James.
one of his best achievements, finishing second with that club.
Mourinho, yeah, was it Mourinho or Solskjaer? Both of them said that.
No, Mourinho
That's
said
true. Mourinho said it. Yeah, that's true. And he won like won trophies as well. Yeah, but like I'm only kind of blaming Ten Hag. If Ten Hag's the one that wants De Jong and De Jong's saying no, like wouldn't that be you'd go to your alternatives? You go to your other.
we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and Arnautovic, like that's crazy. A 34-year-old Arnautovic coming back to the Prem to play for United. That's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
it's
Banter club. Banter club. Yeah. Okay, that's that. And then finally, I want to talk about is the striker that bossed it over the weekend, who I saw, Erling Haaland, 2 goals. I want you lot to predict how many goals. I think we did this before, but I want to do it again with everyone. How many goals will he score in the Prem goals this season?
If
What do you lot think?
if De Bruyne keeps fit,
Just
my
Prem.
God.
I'm just wondering if Prem teams will suss out
How he plays.
Man City are a lot more one-dimensional now. They're a lot
That is
more
true.
predictable.
Yeah, but
Whereas last season,
I think that'll benefit Man City more because if they go and stick 2 defenders on Haaland, they're going to have their wingers or De Bruyne just running into the empty gaps. So, for example, if he only scores another 10 goals this season, but that will help City more because they will draw other players out the game, draw other defenders out the game.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it took Haaland quite a while to probably get into the game.
Yeah,
He did.
Once he was in it, though.
But once he was in it, it was like he was trying too hard. But Grealish wasn't. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't.
From what I saw, during training, that's true. In training, they do the go on.
29
Yeah.
goals.
29 goals. Ooh, that's mad. I would say 25, 26. Again, I think I said that before.
24.
20.
24, 20, 29, James, you know?
Here's where he just doesn't score any more goals this season. We're just on Wales.
Yeah, imagine he gets an injury. What I do want to say on him is in training when I saw him, do you know they do the shooting drills before the players go inside? He didn't miss one shot, that guy Haaland, in training. In the training drills before the game. And then do you see the one chance, the one-on-one, he got it buried? Like he missed the header, but that guy's clinical. That was cracking up, isn't it? Crying.
This is James taking a chunk out of his yogurt.
All right, finally we come to your 2 teams, Watford.
Very quickly before you start though, Amir.
Go on.
For everyone watching, for the past 2 seasons, Watford in the first season of our Top Tier Talk channel, we're in the Championship, and we've gave Daniel Brand 1 minute specifically to waffle about Watford because they were so bad they could get into the Premier League. And then he joined us in season 2 for the Premier League, so he could waffle a little bit more. But now he's back in the Championship. So Daniel, because James is it, you get 2 minutes.
Give me the
Fine, I'll take that. Yeah, James,
drop some. Go for it.
Okay, we'll start with the Sheffield game. Poor performance, but we won. Doesn't really matter.
Poor performance
Against Sheffield, I think we could have been better.
Really?
Go on,
Go on, chip in.
I thought we were really good.
Do you think it was a convincing performance then? Maybe not a poor performance. Do you think it was convincing?
I think we looked amazing that game. I thought that showed a message to all the other big teams that we're going to compete.
Who's the big teams?
If that sent a message, then what did yesterday send out?
Big teams.
If the Sheffield game sent out a message going, watch out, we're Watford, then what did yesterday say?
Yesterday was poor. No, yeah, yesterday was poor.
Well, what message did that one send out?
I think yesterday showed like a lot of problems that we have wrong. Like,
yeah,
as a club.
What are these problems? Do you think? What are they?
Not got midfield.
Ken Sammer and Tom Clever.
On that front 3, you need someone in the midfield because you can't be so dependent on the front 3, and that's what we looked like yesterday. And we've not got that midfield to like supply the front 3, so we're very one-dimensional again.
It seems to be the case for Watford, though. It seems to be like you go on a run of winning streaks, and then all of a sudden, pow, straight back down to like shit.
But it's not even that. James mentioned it literally before we started recording about Sarr. If Sarr or Dennis were to go, that would actually benefit us because we'd be able to, because we wouldn't have to try and force 3 forwards. We'd be able to, obviously one of them wouldn't be here, so we'd be able to play a loser or a quitter into a midfield three.
But then you're losing quality,
Yeah,
yeah? Three quality
Oh
players.
yeah, no, but Amir, the issue is for like yesterday, Jake Livermore, for example, has the ball just in the centre circle, cleverly comes over because that's his man. KMA comes over as a second defender. Well, then they just pass it through them, and that's our midfield gone. They pass our midfield on the halfway line. That's a big issue.
You're right. It's almost like our biggest positive and our biggest negative having that front three. You've got to play all of them.
Yeah, you can't not play them, but you also
because they're that good.
Oh, I'm not comparing us to PSG, but it's almost like the Champions League when they have to play their front three and it hit. No. But when they played Madrid and they had to play their front three, even though they were getting pulled back.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm not comparing our front three to theirs, but you have to play them, and
You've got to accommodate for them. Yeah.
When Madrid are catching up to them, it's similar to yesterday. But congratulations on Saar for scoring goal of the season. Just give it to us already.
Fair enough. Excited for next week then, boys? For the next game week?
Very quickly, you two. Right now, after 2 games, predict for me, will
Watford do well?
Be promoted? No, will they be promoted? I like there, I know.
Top 4.
No,
so
promoted.
So you could do.
Do you think, is it a playoff or do you think second or first? What do you think?
I know
it's hard. You don't think top 2?
But for me, yes.
I'll ask me where the transfer window finishes, because if we've lost 2 of the front 3, then I'm
asking you now.
As it is now, yes.
Do you think you'll lose 2 of them?
As it is, yes. But if we lose Dennis and or Saar and or Pedro,
do you think you will lose any of the front 3?
No one will pay their price tag, I don't think. That's why.
That's the issue. We don't want to lose too much on Saar.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that I guess that wraps up football.
The
championship stuff. Next thing, we're going to do a few of the hot topics I've got. The first one I've got, which is really interesting, that's come around recently, I saw on Twitter. The top 5 best leagues in Europe. We obviously know the French league, the German league, Italian league, Spanish league, and the English league.
Yep.
Rank these leagues best to worst.
Bundesliga. I saw a fair point. Bundesliga's last.
Yep.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Dan, you do your top 5, and then we'll go through. What's your top? It's 5, isn't it? Yeah.
Bundesliga, Liga, La Liga, Serie A, Prem.
You put Serie.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. What did I say? What?
What'd you do that for?
Where's the best to worst?
Well, I started at the bottom. Now we're here.
Started from the bottom.
I think there's more of a variety in winners.
Go on, Prem.
Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Uber Eats.
Same as me. That's the exact same as me. Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, and then Liga.
I disagree. I would go Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Liga, and then Bundesliga. I'll put Bundesliga last because there's always one winner.
Did you see? I saw on TikTok. I saw the podcast, and it was like, "Oh, Bayern win it every year," and then, "Oh, Leipzig are close to us. Let's go and buy your best players." Oh, Dortmund finished second this year. Let's go and buy your players.
That's that.
I'm not saying Bayern aren't a bad team.
All I'm saying is like Frankfurt won the Europa, didn't they?
That's a fair point as well. Yeah.
And then Bayern obviously won the Champions League like 2 seasons ago, isn't it? Like they're not.
But then we can play that game. We can play that game with the Prem as well because Chelsea.
Yeah, but that's why Prem's top. But then that's why I'm saying, why are you ranking Bundesliga so low if these teams are pulling it out of the bag like that?
I guess it's because
but the actual league. The actual league. I'm not saying Bayern are a poor team, but the actual league itself.
Damn it, you are.
And if you kind of look at players that come from the Bundesliga to the Prem, they don't do as well as.
You can say think
about who?
Look at Pepe.
Pepe.
No, look at my main man Saliba. Come on.
He come from Arsenal. He was on loan.
Yeah, but he was on a season loan to Marseille.
He's made a fair point.
Yeah, he didn't.
Exactly.
There's a lot of French players that come over.
Dan. Saliba, Watford.
Wow, really hurt.
Yeah, well, very quickly, with Saliba coming in, it's like, we're going to do with your 50 million flop Ben White then? What is he going to pay? Right back? Because he got skinned by Zaha, didn't he?
Nah, I actually felt he dealt with Zaha quite well.
Yeah, did it?
You think he dealt?
You know, what are you watching?
I thought he got. I was watching Arsenal.
I mean, yeah, everyone's going to get beat by Zaha, but the fact I'd say
He
kept
come with him pretty
fairly
well,
quiet.
yeah. He actually kept him quite in the shadows for a little while.
Not I wouldn't even say in the shadows, but if you watch Zaha play,
Zaha's quality. I'm afraid, like he challenges a lot of those top 6 teams on their right back.
Chelsea are linked with Zaha for 25 million. I'd take that for Zaha. I think 25 million for Zaha. I'm taking that.
If he wasn't as cocky and confident, he would have succeeded at United. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, but he's like that. That's why he's at Crystal Palace. That's why he's not in the top 16 because he'll just fall out with everyone.
Yeah.
That's the same with Arnautovic, though. Arnautovic is very like an angry footballer.
He's an
I remember at West Ham. He's very angry. So it was like aggressive. He's decent. Like he has quality. Like he was all good for West Ham, but at 34 as well, going to United, that's mad. And Rabiot as well. What do you think of Rabiot? I don't.
That's a BTEC signing for United.
It's a better signing than Arnautovic would be. It's a better signing than Arnautovic would be, but it's not a great one.
Yeah, but if they want a midfielder, wouldn't they go for someone like a Neves, Ruben Neves or something? Or a bit more Prem proven.
Well, the transfer window's still not over, isn't it? Until the fat lady sings.
True.
Oh, no, it is until the end of the month. Does have a date.
For 55 million. You seen that?
That Gibbs White, that is a stinky deal. If anyone takes for that.
How much? 55 million?
Is it 50 mil?
Was he good in the Championship last season?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Not worth that.
There's a lot of good players though in that position that you get for a lot cheaper. I'd be going for Dennis over him, personally. Prem proven.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's true. Another thing as well, Mitrovic scored in the 2 goals as well. It was a very bit of a nuisance against Liverpool as well. Do you think this could be potentially a season of breaking through?
I loved it.
Yeah, he battered.
Do you reckon this could be a season? Because I know every season in the Prem, I know it's hard after one game.
You can't, I was going to say, you can't base it off one game. Yes, it's Liverpool, but then let's say if he does it next week as well. That's what I think anyway. Like, you can say the same for Haaland and Nunes and Jesus, and you can say that.
Nunes scored as well, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
after one game, you can say they're the
to
best
that,
in the world. It's like the Chavez Classic.
Is he not going to score all season?
Exactly. You can say, do the Chavez Classic in here. It's right this moment, best player, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, top five. Top 5. That's a very good question.
This season.
Top 5 what scores?
Top 5 in no particular order, yeah? I don't know the order. Or do you want me to do it in an order?
No, go.
Salah, Haaland, Son. This is really hard. Nunes, I'm going to put Nunes in there. Don't know why. And is there a Chelsea man in there?
No, of course it's not.
Oh, wait.
Who?
Did you see you got a price drop? Kane got a price drop at FPL. That's
Kane.
Kane.
Yeah,
after one game, he got a price drop.
No, he didn't.
Have I missed anyone?
After one game, Kane got a price drop at FPL.
What, to 11 mil instead?
11.4.
Oh my god.
What's yours?
Yeah, what's yours? He's going to put Jesus in there. Put
Jesus
top goal scorer.
Jesus top goal scorer. I'll stick to my word. I'll stick to my word. Like I said, remember me with our golden boot. I'm not gonna back out of it. I'm gonna be an optimistic man.
Yeah.
What do you think about Liverpool?
Say again, sir. He's good. He's a true number 9. You can tell. You can tell a number 9 from a mile away.
Like Fernando Torres.
Nah. No.
Nunes.
Obviously, he's not nowhere near as good, but play style wise, I think he's very similar.
Nah, I don't know. I think Nunes is a more aerial kind of person. Like he's like a lesser kind of Haaland. I'm putting out there.
That's so hard. So expressions called him Andy Carroll. You were going. Nunes is like central. See, I like Nunes. I think he looks quite passionate, doesn't he? He's very passionate. Like the way, like I know he took his top off in the charity in the Community Shield, but do you see like when he scored and stuff? He looked like quite passionate. It looks like
that's what you want, though. That's exactly what you want.
That's what you want, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to last, if he'll be good, but
time to tell.
Championship.
Yeah, that championship.
I was going to ask you. Do you want to ask it? I'll ask it. Your top 3 all-time championship strikers.
Championship.
I don't know.
I'm going to unmute for this.
Yeah.
You go first.
Keep it that way.
What's that quote you say about the championship? Always,
it's the best league in the world.
The best league in the world. Go on, then. Your top 3 strikers of all time in the best league in the world.
Go on, James. Or me. Either one.
Mine got a number 1, Billy Sharp. Number 2, Mitrovic. And then maybe it's between like Tammy Abraham, Dwight Gale. Do you know what I mean? Charlie Austin.
But David Nugent, maybe? You spoke about him before.
Yeah. I'm going to
Dan,
go.
what about you?
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go Tony. So, yeah.
Ivan Toney. So, your top. Okay.
Billy Sharp, Ivan Toney, and Mitrovic.
So I'll agree with Billy Sharp top. I'd want to say Mitro second, but yeah. And then I've got to stick Troy in third. I've got to, when I
Troy Deeney.
He's going in there.
Why is Troy Deeney third?
He's up there. He
scored like 23 goals consecutive, like 3 seasons in a row. Whether it's championship or not, it's still a good stat.
That was a good stat, yeah. And the final topic I want to speak about, El, you can come back on off mute for this, is just in general of Barcelona's whole transfer window and the way they've treated their players and their fans. Like,
pathetic.
Is this like pathetic? Is this like lowered your opinion of Barca? Because Barca to me before was like classy, like tiki-taka, great football, like historic club. Like the way they've treated their players and they're trying to do lawsuits against their players to try and get them on their old contracts so they can lower their wages and stuff is ridiculous. Like, what do you lot think of them and how they've like dealt with everything?
Can I start?
Go for it.
I think their club and how they run it is absolutely pathetic. I think if you have a player who is currently, how much is De Jong owed? Like 25, 30 mil? If you have a player...
like 12, 15, I think maybe. Even
that's embarrassing. That's actually embarrassing. If you owe a player a certain amount of money and then you basically go, yeah, we'll pay you. Behind, go buy fucking one of the best number 9s in the world. Kessie and fucking who else? Who else did they buy?
So Christensen, Rafinha.
Even a Aubameyang.
That's what I remember. I was speaking to a Leeds fan actually the other day, and apparently they were saying the Barcelona was saying to Leeds, can they buy him? And then can they pay in January? Fuck off! No, you either want him or you don't. Honestly, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. James, what do you
say about the whole thing? Apparently, he signed a legal contract. So they're trying to sue him.
If I'm De Jong, I'm trying to cut as soon as possible. If Chelsea are offering me my wages to live in London, I'm cutting.
But this is what I said a couple of weeks ago. The only way it would be resolved if we said about United, so I'll use United as an example. If they went to Barca, we'll take him on loan and you can pay him in a year's time. So you've got a year to get the money, or we pay him his wages, but we take that off the transfer fee. Mm-hmm. If like the money that's owed, and we take that off the transfer fee. I think that's the only way it's going to get settled. Or, as you said, Chelsea, if they go in and say the same thing. Otherwise,
I think he's a very good player. So if he wants to come, I don't really. If it's excessive,
it's almost the same as like the wages thing. Was it Umtiti? They just sat there and was like, when the whole Messi thing was going, he was like, I'm not taking a pay cut. Why should I? You gave me the contract, so I signed it.
When they did
you wouldn't do that any job in the world. So why do you do it as a player?
Yeah, I think even in their presentation, Braithwaite got like loads of boos. Like I hate like Spanish fans, Real Madrid and Barca fans. They're so like annoying. The whistles and stuff like it jars me so much. And no, I don't like the way they've dealt with the Laporte guy. I know him from before. He was the president before, and then the new guy like messed up, and then he's back again. But they can't register their players. I hope they don't register their players. To be honest, I hope they get what they deserve. But is what it is really. But I think that kind of wraps everything up. We've kind of spoke about Watford, everything. We brought some hot topics into it, but
hold on.
Go on. 1 minute 40. What are you gonna do?
Cheers. We need to predict. We've got Arsenal, Leicester. What do you reckon?
Arsenal win.
Arsenal win as well. We said
1-0 Arsenal.
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I reckon 3-0. 3-0 Arsenal.
I mean, who Chelsea got?
Chelsea have got Spurs. Big game.
We need to do a combined
Spurs,
11.
Chelsea.
Very quickly off the bat, combined 11. Let's do it.
No. Shut up. Hold on.
That's the more important thing.
Yeah, later. Come on.
Let's a minute go.
Yeah. Just what do you think?
1-0.
1-0 Chelsea.
I reckon
Chelsea.
1-0 as well.
Big game.
And then obviously we'll predict Chavez's because he's not here anyway, but we'll still do it. Man United, Brentford.
Brentford.
2-1 Brentford.
2-0.
I reckon 2-0 United. I reckon they'll pull it out of the bag. And then who are you guys playing? Burnley. What do you reckon?
Burnley. 0-0.
Probably a 0-0. Realistically, it's Burnley.
1-0 Watford.
Nah, I reckon
2-0
0-0.
Watford. 2-0 Watford. Because they've lost a lot of their players, Burnley.
Cool. All right, well, that wraps up this week's video. We will do a combined 11 in another separate video. But for this one, everyone who's watching, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, James, for joining us. And we will catch you next week.